Will be recording. Okay. So today's topic is about the human digestion, the human digestive system. Okay. So it's a complete system, and it starts from the from the mouth, goes through various stages, and then we extract the food molecules. Okay, so let's start. So this is how the alimentary canal looks like. This is the first stage. The digestive system is made up of the alimentary canal plus the salivary glands, liver, and pancreas. Now, why did we mention the salivary glands, liver, and pancreas as separate? Why do we not consider them in the alimentary canal? Who would like to answer that? Khalid. Yes, Khalid, you have the mic.
Because I think they'd like the food that you eat not go through them or past them.
That is true. That is exactly right. It doesn't go through them or it doesn't pass through them. So we have to mention them separately, but their secretions are included into the alimentary canal. Whatever they are producing, they will put it into the alimentary canal so they can help the digestion to get completed. So excellent answer. Good work, Khalid. And let's see the diagram. You can see that the upper side, let me grab the pen. The pen is here. You have something to happen. Okay, so this is the nasal cavity. Where's the pen again? I lost it. Okay, so this is the nasal cavity, which is not a part of the digestive system or alimentary canal, but you can smell it. And the food is actually going to enter through this part. So we have the teeth, we chew it up, and these are the salivary glands over here. So they would release the saliva that will help the food to get a little bit moistened and release the flavor as well. And after that, we have to swallow it, and then it goes deep down from this point to the esophagus. So the alimentary canal is starting off from the mouth. And the mouth is doing two kinds of things. It is doing a mechanical digestion and it is doing a chemical digestion. The mechanical digestion is when we start chewing it out. So we have the first one as mechanical digestion. And Sami, you can write this down because this is not in the presentation. The mechanical digestion is chewing and breaking the food into smaller pieces. So number one, we chew and we try to make them into smaller pieces. The second thing is chemical digestion. We add saliva. Okay. Admit. Sorry, there was a student coming in, so it stopped me from typing. So let me write from here again. We add saliva to the food and the digestion and the carbohydrates start getting digested. There's an enzyme which is known as amylase. That's an enzyme which speeds up the chemical reaction. The enzyme is a substance which has the ability to speed up a chemical reaction. Yes, Yusuf, if you want to, you can make up this. Let me just see if I can select this. Oh, sorry. Let me select this and put it down. This one, add saliva, has become, mistake. So we can remove this add. I'll put a cross line on it. Don't write this because this is a typing mistake. So inside the mouth, we are doing two things. We are breaking it down so that we can swallow it easily. Plus, the saliva starts doing the chemical digestion, which is helping us to understand the flavor. It's sweet, and you know, so the chemical digestion is also there. Khalid, yes, you have a question?
Yes, Mister. What is and the end in the passage number 2? What is the word meaning at the end? Amylase.
Amylase.
Yes. What is
Amylase
that?
is an enzyme which has the ability to make the chemical reaction go faster. Enzymes
Okay.
are catalyst. In chemistry, you might learn about catalyst. An enzyme is a living catalyst. They are in the living bodies, and they will speed up a chemical reaction. A chemical reaction that might take 2 to 3 hours, it can be easily done in 20 to 30 minutes with the help of an enzyme. And the good thing about the enzyme is they are not utilized during the chemical reaction, right? They will come out unused. Okay. Yes, yes, enjoy your drink. Let's go to the next one. We have Sammy raising a hand. Yes, Sammy.
Mr. The title it is with the low one, the can one.
Can you repeat your question again?
What is the title?
What is the title? Sorry, can you ask your question again?
What is the title?
The human digestive system.
Okay.
All right. So let's go to the next slide. Let me clear this up. Clear the, we have Al-Sadori. What happened? I'll make this a part of the presentation as well, and I'll upload it if you are unable to properly write it down. So we're looking at the second part. After the food has gone through the esophagus, it enters into the stomach. And the stomach is being helped by two of the very important organs, liver and pancreas. And the liver will release its juices through the gallbladder. So let me grab a pen. Let's see this. So the gallbladder is over here. So all the juices that is going to come out from the liver is going to be through the gallbladder, and the pancreas is here. And when they are going to release their juice, it's not going to be in the stomach, it's going to be in the intestine, the small intestine. Now the food we were discussing comes into the stomach. The stomach is doing two things again. It is like a munching bag. It keeps on, munching and crunching the food that it has received. So it's a very strong muscular bag. And it has two things inside. It has a gastric juice, and it has, where is this student? Yeah, the student coming in. Okay. So we have the gastric juice, and we have a hydrochloric acid, which is a very strong acid. So all these two together will help the food to get digested further. It depends on what kind of food you're eating. If you're eating vegetables and rice, it may stay in your stomach for about 2 hours. But if it is like meat, white meat for 4 hours, and the red meat may stay for 6 hours. So they stay in there and they get digested, and then they're moved on to the small intestine. The small intestine is actually not according to the length, but it is according to the diameter of that tube. So from the small intestine, it goes to the large intestine. Now the small intestine, it has the ability to completely finish the absorption of the nutrients. The food that you have taken in, the digestion is completed in that part. You have completely digested all the elements, and then the absorption of the nutrients is also taking place in this stage. And when it goes to the large intestine, only water and salts are going to be absorbed. Water and salts. So we have facial. Facial is coming in. All right. And after that, the undigested food is collected in this region, which we call rectum. And here is the rectum region. This is the rectum region where the undigested food is stored. And then after that, it is going to pass out from the anus. It comes out from the anus. Anybody who would tell me what is an appendix? Anybody who has an idea about appendix? Okay, 1, 2, Abdurrahman, and 3. Okay, let's go to Abdurrahman. Yes, Abdurrahman. Oh, sorry, I lowered your hand instead of unmuting.
Yes, Mr. So the anus is where the final part when you like to do when you poop it's like it's kind of inappropriate to say
I think I'm asking about the appendix. Appendix, which is a small growth,
this
small.
one.
Yes, this one.
Oh, I thought you were okay. I don't know what that is. The appendix.
Okay, let's check with somebody else. Thank you, Abdurrahman. Yes, Abdul Samad, you have the mic.
Yes, Mr. The appendix, if a certain something happens, I forgot what it is. I watched the video about it in the invitation. If a certain something happens, it takes place, but it's not that important. Sometimes doctors cut it off.
Yes, it is true. Sometimes doctors cut it off, but what does it do? Why do the doctors cut it off? What happens? Any idea?
Yes. Something grows in your body, it turns it green, turns the place green, and then you need to cut it off. Then I don't know why that happens, and I don't know what.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Let's go to Yasin. Yasin, you have the mic.
Yes, mister.
Yes, you were raising your hand.
No, I want only to talk for this little thing here.
Sorry?
I want only to talk about this little thing here.
Yes, tell me about this little thing here.
Actually, mister, I don't actually need to cut it.
Okay, why do we need to cut it?
We don't need to, because mister, it will have something bad.
Okay, so what does it do?
It's nothing to do. It not give you anything.
All right, it doesn't do anything.
Because the food, mister, go only in the large intestine, not going to here. It's not going down, going up.
Okay, it's not going down, it's going up. Okay, good point. So Yasin has answered. So let's go to Khalid. Khalid, you have the mic.
Yes, mister. I think this appendix, I think its purpose is to store food. Like when it goes to the belly, and the belly digests the food, and it sends the food to the small intestine to the large one. I think if there was too much food in the large intestine and it could not handle it, I think it pushes a little bit to the appendix, and then it can digest.
So you think that this small structure can store food, extra amount of food?
It's a little bit amount of food, not that quite.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of you have mentioned it. Let's see what the details are. The appendix is actually not functional these days in humans. It's not functional. It doesn't have any function. Yasin was correct that it doesn't do anything. Number one. If we used to do something, maybe when we were like about 1,000 years ago, cavemen, when they used to eat a lot of food with cellulose, that scientists think that there might be some bacteria in it, which has the ability to digest the cellulose, but now it is not. It's just a theory. Second thing about the appendix is we don't have to cut it unless it becomes infected. Sometimes what happens, since the large intestine contains the waste, it contains the stool, the poop, the feces. So what happens, some of the bacteria can go into the appendix and start infecting it. And it starts to swell. It swells so much that it becomes twice the size of it. And it can give us a lot of pain. Anybody, may Allah keep all us safe, if anybody has suffered from appendicitis pain, it's very painful. It feels like somebody is cutting you from inside. So the doctors will have to open it up and cut it out before it bursts open. If it bursts open inside the body, then it can release all the poison into the body, which is going to be very bad for the health. So Khalid is raising a hand. Yes, Khalid.
Yes, Mr. Once, like when I was younger, I was watching a movie, and there was one boy who said, the mother said, your appendix was bursting. So does the appendix turn into a balloon? And when it has no space, it just explodes in the middle of the time, just explodes like that?
It's not like an explosion like a bomb. It's like it expands like a balloon because the bacteria are growing in there. They grow so much that they start occupying the space and they start swelling it up. And it will burst open. By bursting, we mean like there's a small cut and then everything starts coming out. So the bacteria which were inside the appendicitis will be having the access to your complete body now. They can mix in the blood, and by mixing in the blood, they can go to every single cell of the body. So it is very dangerous for the appendicitis if it bursts open or if it breaks open. So the doctors have to make sure it has to be removed before it gets swollen enough or burst open. If they were able to remove it before it gets burst, then it is safe. Else, if it is circulating in the body, then they have to use a lot of antibiotics to clean the blood and to clean the whole body system.
And Mr., what happens if they cut it? If somebody appendix almost burst and what doctors cut it, where does the bacteria go?
Which bacteria?
You said that the appendix has bacteria from the food.
Yes, that bacteria is out of your body.
So the bacteria which comes from the food goes to our body if the appendix was cut?
Yes, it won't be able to infect the appendix. If you have removed the appendix, then it won't be finding any place in the intestine to infect it.
So does that affect our body?
No, it won't affect your body.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Okay. Yasin has a question. Yes, Yasin.
Mister, I have a question. How the food, Mister, goes in the small intestine and be in the large intestine? Is the food, Mister, getting bigger and bigger?
The food isn't becoming bigger. In the small intestine, it becomes smaller, right? And from this portion, there are contractions going on. There are muscular contractions which pushes the food from the small intestine to the large intestine. All right?
All right.
So when it comes over here, once they when they're coming into the large intestine, they are getting stored here. It is more larger in size. The diameter is bigger as compared to the small intestine. And then over here, it gets, water is being absorbed and the salt is being absorbed. And then it comes out finally from this place. So the muscular contractions pushes the food.
Okay, thanks, Mister.
Okay. Ma'an has a question. Yes, Ma'an. You have the mic? Yes.
So now appendix has no function, literally? No function?
Appendix, yes, these days we don't have any function. We don't use it.
Okay.
So it's okay if we remove it.
Okay.
All right, thank you, boys. So we have one more question from Abdurrahman. Yes, Abdurrahman.
Okay, now I know what the appendix is. Because now I know why I didn't know it. Because it was not useful. Like, it's not really an important part of the body. So,
Yes, it is not an important part of the body, but may Allah keep us all safe. If this becomes infected, then it is going to be painful. And remember, on the right side, if you feel pain at the, let me turn on my camera so I can point out that area. At the right side, where the waist is, if you feel the pain, which is like, growing in this way as a pulse, and it stays there for a very long time, for about 4
that
hours,
means that
5
your
hours.
appendix got cut.
It means that your appendix might be getting infected. So there are other symptoms as well, but most importantly, it has to be at this end, not on the left. It has to be on the right side. Right side, where your waist is, where you put your belt on. It has to be at that point.
Shukran, Mr.
Okay, good job, boys. So let's go to the next slide. This is a video, an animation on the human digestive system. Let's see if I can access this link. Why can't I access this link? No, I can't. So let me. Okay, we'll have to copy paste it then. Okay, let me start a new share. New share on how your digestive system works and share the sound. All right, is this screen visible to you guys? Voice is okay?
Across the whole planet, humans eat on average between 1 and 2.7 kilograms of food a day. That's over 365 kilograms a year per person, and more than 28,800 kilograms over the course of a lifetime. And every last scrap makes its way through the digestive system. Comprised of 10 organs, covering 9 meters, and containing over 20 specialized cell types, this is one of the most diverse and complicated systems in the human body. Its parts continuously work in unison to fulfill a singular task, transforming the raw materials of your food into the nutrients and energy that keep you alive. Spanning the entire length of your torso, the digestive system has 4 main components. First, there's the gastrointestinal tract, a twisting channel that transports your food and has an internal surface area of between 30 and 40 square meters, enough to cover half a badminton court. Second, there's the pancreas, gallbladder, and liver, a trio of organs that break down food using an array of special juices. Third, the body's enzymes, hormones, nerves, and blood all work together to break down food, modulate the digestive process, and deliver its final products. Finally, there's the mesentery, a large stretch of tissue that supports and positions all your digestive organs in the abdomen, enabling them to do their jobs. The digestive process begins before food even hits your tongue. Anticipating a tasty morsel, glands in your mouth start to pump out saliva. We produce about 1.5 liters of this liquid each day. Once inside your mouth, chewing combines with the sloshing saliva to turn food into a moist lump called the bolus. Enzymes present in the saliva break down any starch. Then your food finds itself at the rim of a 25 centimeter long tube called the esophagus, down which it must plunge to reach the stomach. Nerves in the surrounding esophageal tissue sense the bolus's presence and trigger peristalsis, a series of defined muscular contractions. That propels the food into the stomach, where it's left at the mercy of the muscular stomach walls, which pound the bolus, breaking it into chunks. Hormones secreted by cells in the lining trigger the release of acids and enzyme-rich juices from the stomach wall that start to dissolve the food and break down its proteins. These hormones also alert the pancreas, liver, and gallbladder to produce digestive juices and transfer bile, a yellowish-green liquid that digests fat, in preparation for the next stage. After 3 hours inside the stomach, the once shapely bolus is now a frothy liquid called chyme, and it's ready to move into the small intestine. The liver sends bile to the gallbladder, which secretes it into the first portion of the small intestine, called the duodenum. Here, it dissolves the fats floating in the slurry of chyme so they can be easily digested by the pancreatic and intestinal juices that have leached onto the scene. These enzyme-rich juices break the fat molecules down into fatty acids and glycerol for easier absorption into the body. The enzymes also carry out the final deconstruction of proteins into amino acids and carbohydrates into glucose. This happens in the small intestine's lower regions, the jejunum and ileum, which are coated in millions of tiny projections called villi. These create a huge surface area to maximize molecule absorption and transference into the bloodstream. The blood takes them on the final leg of their journey to feed the body's organs and tissues. But it's not over quite yet. Leftover fiber, water, and dead cells sloughed off during digestion make it into the large intestine, also known as the colon. The body drains out most of the remaining fluid through the intestinal wall. What's left is a soft mass called stool. The colon squeezes this byproduct into a pouch called the rectum, where nerves sense it expanding and tell the body when it's time to expel the waste. The byproducts of digestion exit through the anus, and the food's long journey, typically lasting between 30 and 40 hours, is finally complete. TED-Ed is a nonprofit. If you value our work...
So any questions about it? Okay, no questions. So this is, a small introduction. Abdul Rahman is raising his hand. Yes, Abdul Rahman.
MashaAllah, I did not know that.
Nice.
It takes 3 hours for me to pee. Like after I eat, and then it takes 3 hours.
30 hours. 30 to 40
30?
hours. Yes, 30 to 40 hours to complete the whole digestion.
I thought you said 3 hours or something.
Let me repeat it again for you.
Digestion exit through the anus, and the food's long journey, typically lasting between 30 and 40 hours, is finally complete.
30 to 40 hours, right?
Oh, so then all the other food that I ate, like from yesterday or something.
Yes, it will be released after a day. So it takes a day to completely digest everything out of your body.
Okay, what if I ate nothing yesterday and then today I ate? Tomorrow and after tomorrow will I have to pee?
Not the pee, the poop.
The poop. Poop, okay. Okay, that makes much more sense. Like, okay.
We are talking about digestion system. He said the stool comes out, the feces, the poop comes out of the anus. And the whole process, what you ate, a whole meal, we're talking about one meal, and it will take about 30 to 40 hours to come out of the body. Okay, so let's go back to the...
Yes, mister, I just have one... I just want to say something.
Yes, please.
Yesterday, I ate... I ate something, and then when I came today, and my mom, I had to poop. So, and it was from yesterday.
Yes, most probably.
So that took like 20 hours or 24 or something.
It depends. If it was a simple food, then it will be like 20 hours. If it is something which is heavy, by simple and heavy, we mean that if it is simple vegetables, it might come out in 24 hours. But if it is, deep fried chicken or meat, then it will take 40 hours, 30 to 40 hours.
Okay.
So, plus you are at a very fast growing age, you might be having less time as compared to the adults because, your body needs more nutrients and you're working faster than the adult's body. Okay, Khalid also has a question. Yes, Khalid.
Yes, mister.
You're raising a hand.
Yes, my question is that when people when people have diarrhea, did something happen wrong in the digestive system?
Yes, when you have diarrhea, you might have 2 to 3 causes to have this kind of. No, constipation has no link with the appendix. That's a good question. And Khalid, the diarrhea could be due to 2 reasons. Let's say simple 2 reasons. Number one, if there was any food poisoning, if there was any kind of food poisoning, then you have a running stomach and complete diarrhea. It's actually because of a bacteria as well. So if we go to the second option, some people have a bad habit of eating at irregular times. That can also cause, irregular running stomach.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Okay, all right. So we have another question from Al Hussein. Yes, Al Hussein. Al Hussein, you have the mic.
Mr.
Yes.
Which part of the digestive system does not the food does not pass through it?
It doesn't go through a lot of systems, like it doesn't go through the brain, it doesn't go through the lungs, or kidneys, or liver, or pancreas. So there are many, many systems, organs, right? But we mentioned the liver and the pancreas because they are contributing directly into the digestive system. The food doesn't go through them, but their secretions, their gastric juices, and their hormones are very important. Without them, the digestion will not be able to take place. It won't be properly digested, right? So we separated them from the alimentary canal, but it is a part of the digestive system. I hope that answers your question. So let's go to the next slide. Let's see, we are left with 5 minutes. So we were on. Okay, so this is the slide. Anybody would like to read that slide for me? We'll give it to. Okay, someone is raising a hand. Yes.
Functions of organs in the digestive system: mouth, teeth chew food into smaller pieces, saliva starts to break down starch into sugar, esophagus, food just passes through here without changing.
So the mouth is the part where you're chewing it up, you're mixing the saliva, and you're breaking down the starch to sugar. And the esophagus is from where it connects the stomach with the mouth. It just passes through it. Nothing difficult about it. So thank you, Abdul Samad. We'll go to the next slide. And we have Khalid. Okay, Khalid, please continue.
Functions of the organs in the digestive system. Stomach. Hydrochlorophyll acid kills microorganisms in the food. Stomach juices begin to break down protein to amino acids. Small intestines. Juices from the pancreas finish breaking down starch, protein, and fat to small molecules. These small molecules are then absorbed through the walls of the small intestine. Water, vitamins, and minerals, which are already made up of very small particles, are also absorbed.
All right, good. So the stomach, we have the hydrochloric acid, which has the ability to kill most of the microorganisms. Your bacteria are going to be killed in the stomach. Some of the bacteria which are very tough and very lethal will not be killed, and that can cause diseases. But the majority of the bacteria are killed over here. So hopefully you won't get food poisoning. Plus there are stomach juices, which we call them the gastric juices as well. They will help to break down the protein into amino acids. After that, it goes to the small intestine. The small intestine is then receiving the 2 juices from the pancreas and from the liver. And they would help you to digest your fats and what else was there? Water and minerals are going to be absorbed also over here, but the final absorption of the water and the salts, minerals is going to be the large intestine. So let's go to the next student who would like to read this. Khalid, you just read it. And give a chance to Muhammad. Yes, Muhammad, you have the mic.
Hello, Mr.
Yes, hello.
Okay. Large intestine, all the food that could not be digested and absorbed passes through here. A little more of the water in it is absorbed. The undigested food collects up and forms
Feces.
feces.
Feces is poop, feces is stool. So feces is the medical term.
Liver. The liver makes bile. The bile is stored in the gallbladder. Bile flows into the small intestine where it helps with fat digestion. Pancreas.
Pancreas, yes.
The pancreas makes pancreatic juice.
Pancreatic juice.
Pancreatic juice flows into the small intestine where it helps to digest protein, starch, and fat.
All right, good job. So large intestine or large intestine, both are correct pronunciations. All the food that couldn't be digested is going to be passing through this point, and we just absorb the water out of it and some of the salts. And the liver is the, one of the most important organs in our body. It keeps on producing bile for us, which is going to be collected in the gallbladder. Gallbladder is like a collecting point for it. Once it is properly collected, then it will be releasing it in large amount into the small intestine. So its basic job is to help you with the fat digestion. It emulsifies the fats. The second organ is the pancreas, which creates the pancreatic juice. It has three jobs. It helps you to digest the protein. It helps you to digest the starch and the fat. So it is a juice which is digesting three. It is made up of, you can say, three different enzymes. It has work. It's going to help you with digestion of your protein and starch and fat. So these two are very important for our digestive system. This is a summary. Who would like to summarize things for us? Yes, Yasin, I'm giving the mic to you. Or Sami. Okay, let's try with Yasin.
Yes, mister.
Would you like to read the summary?
Sure. The alimentary canal is long tube that runs from the mouth to the anus. Inside the alimentary canal, nutrients are first digested and then absorbed. Digestion happens inside the mouth, stomach, and small intestine. Absorption happens inside the small intestine and large intestine.
All right, good job. So this was a summary. And let's wrap it up. The time is up, boys. No, the salivary glands, Hussein, they are releasing the saliva. They are not, the food doesn't go through them. So until we meet again, take care of yourselves. Stay safe, stay blessed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.